Hey everybody, my name is Alyssa Arms. I'm the owner of Back and Step Physical Therapy. I wanted to share some ideas with you today of some things that you can do if you're going to be on a plane for a little bit, just to help keep things loose and a little bit more mobile. It's really hard to maintain that when you're on a plane, especially for any length of time. They're cramped seats, not a ton of leg room most of the time, and just close quarters. So these are some ideas of things that you can try to do while you're in your seat, just to get some extra stretching in. I was inspired because I'm going to be heading on a plane in the next few days myself, and if you're on my flight, you'll probably see me doing some of these stretches. So let's get started with one more for your upper back and neck area. What you want to do is lace your fingers together and pull your arms out in front of you. You're going to then feel like someone is pulling you by your arm, so you're letting your back round, and you're also making sure that you have your chin tucked. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this too. So again, sitting up nice and tall, hands laced in front of one another, reaching out in front of you and letting yourself arch into that, keeping your chin tucked at least a little bit. You don't want to let your head hang out like this. What you'll find is, depending on how high or how low your arms are and how bent your head is towards your chest, you'll get a little bit of a difference in your stretch here. So find a good spot, and you're going to hold that for a good 30 seconds and then give yourself a little bit of a break, and you'll do that 3 times. Another great stretch that you can do while you're sitting is to, again, sit up nice and tall. You're going to have one knee bent and the other leg placed out in front of you. You do want to be a little bit forward in your seat so that your thigh can move downward. And this is a great stretch for your hamstrings. If you also pull your toes up towards you, you'll get a little bit of a stretch down into your ankle and calf as well. So this is wonderful if you're going to be on your feet a lot or just sitting a lot. Both of those muscle groups need a good stretch. So again, sitting up nice and tall, leg out in front of you, other leg bent for some support. You're going to let your body hinge forward from your hips until you start to get a good stretch coming through the back. Now, if you're doing this and you're letting yourself slouch through your back, you'll find that you lose that stretch. So this is all about keeping your back straight and leaning forward from your hips. Again, you're going to hold this for a good 30 seconds and then relax and do this 3 times on each side. So make sure that you keep yourself even with doing this as well. Another good stretch, if you've got the space for it, this one can be a little bit tricky, is you want to bring your ankle across your knee, and you're going to sit up nice and tall. That's always the key through these stretches. If you're not already getting a stretch in the back of that hip that's bent here, you can then again lean forward through your hips until you get a stretch right back in this hip. Just like all the others, you're going to hold for 30 seconds, give yourself a break, and repeat this 3 times on each side. This is great for stretching the piriformis muscle that's located in your hip and is often tight, especially if you've been having any trouble with your hip or your back. Another great one, if you've got space, is try to bring your knee up towards your chest to give yourself a little bit of a stretch through your glutes and into your low back. Just like the others, 30-second hold, 3 times on each side. And then another one, if you've got the space, is to sort of stretch low back and up into the upper back. You're going to let yourself just completely fold over as far as you can. Let your arms hang, let your head hang, keep your chin tucked so that you're not keeping it out in front of you like this, and just bend all the way over as far as you can, getting a nice stretch throughout all of your back and maybe even to your hips a little bit. Another really important exercise to do while you're on a plane or any sort of long trip is even things as simple as ankle pumps. So you're just letting your feet come up and down, or you can even rock back to your heel and all the way up to your toes and back and forth like that. That just makes sure that we're using muscles throughout our legs while we're sitting in that position. If we're here for a long time, we tend to have our blood kind of pool downward. And over a prolonged period of time, or depending on other health conditions for you, that can predispose you to things like blood clots in your legs, which are never good. So if you're going to be sitting anywhere for more than an hour or so, just make sure that you're doing some things to keep those legs moving. Try to straighten and bend your knees a little bit. Just little motions to get your blood flowing and making sure that we're keeping your circulation as good as you can while you're not as mobile as normal. So these were just some ideas of things that you can do, whether you're going to be on a flight for a long time, on the bus, a car trip, as long as you're not the one driving, or anything like that, just to keep you moving, keep you a little bit looser, so that whenever you get to your destination, you can enjoy the trip that you're going to have. So hopefully these help you. Let us know if you have any questions. I'll be seeing you next time. Thanks.